So, in conclusion, high school was just one big L. I hope college is better.
Hell no!
That party last night was awfully crazy. I wish we taped it.
Fuck school! Fuck all this bull!
You know, I was sitting in the commons of my university, right? And I was thinking about the time I went to the little bagel joint that we got on campus. Now, every time I go to the little bagel joint, I order the same thing. A ham and Swiss with no egg. Why no egg? I'm allergic to them. Can't eat them. Can't eat raw eggs, scrambled eggs, omelets, deviled eggs.
Nathan.
Now, stuff with eggs baked into them like cookies and cakes, even French toast, free game. Don't ask me how that works. Anyways, I ordered that. A minute later, they give me my sandwich and I set it down on the table and just look at it. My nigga senses started tingling. Something is telling me, yo, check that sandwich real quick. I take it out the wrapper, open it up. These motherfuckers done put the egg under the cheese. And I know that might not sound like much now, but let me tell y'all how this sandwich was structured, okay? It went bagel, ham, cheese, egg hidden under the cheese. It wasn't sticking out or nothing, and then bagel. I would have never saw the egg had I not opened the sandwich. Who the fuck was back there making this shit? Agent 47? This was an assassination attempt, yo. Not to mention the shit was $6.
How the fuck is a bagel? $6, bro! I'm broke, nigga, I'm broke!
So I got the bagel in hand, fully prepared to crash out. I said no egg. Y'all heard me say it. It's on the receipt and y'all still fuck it up. We gotta fight about it, bro. The only thing that stopped me from crashing out was the chick behind the counter. This fine Mexican chick with long wavy hair, nice lips, and them eyes, my nigga, them eyes.
How are you that fine?
I walked up there and said, excuse me, with some force behind it, you feel me? Cause I wanted all of them to know I was pissed about this shit. That girl looked up at me, completely disarmed me. I almost forgot what I was even doing.
Forgot what the fuck I was thinking.
I fell victim to what we like to call Latina mind control. It's like Snow Bunny mind control, except even more powerful. She could have asked for the keys to my car and I would have handed them over. Couldn't even crash out anymore because of her.
Rip a damn head off, man. Let her know how you feel about this shit. Rip a damn head off.
Latina mind control.
Hello. Hey, thank you.
I was in a trance, but I locked in real quick and said, yeah, I ordered this with no egg and there's an egg on here. And when I said that, she looked kind of irritated. Like she looked down at the bagel, frowned, and then turned around. And I'm just sitting there thinking, what you mad at me for, girl? You made the...
Lo siento, papi. Lo siento.
You know, maybe she just had a very long day. You know, it's an honest mistake. Anybody could have made it. But she turned around, told them to make me another sandwich. Like she put a little bass in her voice for that one. Then she turned back around and said, here, you can keep that and like give it to a friend or throw it away or something. I don't care. Then she gave me the new bagel and I gave the one with the egg on it to one of the homies that I'm in an ensemble with. Now, what does this story have to do with me not liking college? Absolutely nothing. This story is completely irrelevant. I honestly don't know why I started the video off.
So look, bro.
College. I don't like it. Kinda buns. Definitely not all it's cracked up to be, that's for sure. Honestly, this semester got me ready to crash out. But make no mistake, I ain't thinking about crashing out because my grades are ass, the homework is getting to me too much, or the people around me are making me hella mad. Nah, at this point, I want to crash out just to feel something, you know? Because this college shit right here, nigga.
This shit right here, nigga.
It's about boring as shit. Now look, did I always plan on coming to college?
Yeah.
Ever since high school, I knew I had always wanted to pursue higher education someday. But college was always like mystifying to me as a kid, you know? Because I didn't really buy the shit that I saw about college on TV and all of that. You wasn't fooling little old me. I knew that half of the shit we saw in movies and TV shows were straight lies and exaggerations. So I'd rely on real world examples and experiences to give me a good predictor on what college would be like. That didn't help much either because everybody I talked to would have like 50 different perspectives on college. Some people was like, oh nah, college is buns, yo. It sucks, it's expensive, everybody is lame, yada yada yada. And then other people were like, oh yeah, college is so cool, best years of your life, everybody's so nice and friendly, college will change your life. Then I get here and it's like, man, there's a whole lot of nothing going on, man. But maybe it's just because of where I live, you know? Like I told y'all, I am located in a very unremarkable area in the Midwest. We just so happen to be a lame and unremarkable area with a university in it. Still lame and unremarkable nonetheless. So maybe that's why this college thing feels so cheeks at times. But the part that kills me is community college was not this boring. See, I did the smart, less expensive thing and went to a community college before going to a university, so I didn't have to pay out the ass to take some classes that may or may not have anything to do with the degree that I want to pursue. I had a pretty nice time in community college, and I don't even think I was supposed to. Community college ain't built for that. At least mine wasn't. Community college has a demographic of 3 types of people: high school students trying to get college credits, high school graduates trying to get college credits, and middle-aged adults with kids trying to get their life and future career on track. More than that, however, there ain't shit to do at a community college. At least there wasn't in mine. Now, university, on the other hand, only has one demographic that matters anyway: a bunch of similarly aged broke young adults pursuing higher education. On top of that, university is filled to the brim with shit to do outside of classes. Be that as it may, it seems that I had more fun at a place where there was nothing to do than I'm having at a place where there was a lot to do. I came from having a ball in community college to university, and I'm like,
Where y'all at?
now don't get me wrong, it isn't all doom and gloom like I'm making it out to be. My first semester here in college was actually pretty fun.
Welcome to Bullworth Academy. Check this out.
Now this was my first semester, not in college, but at a university. Upon initial contact, I didn't know what to expect. I'm new on campus. I see some people I used to go to high school with, but I don't know very well because I didn't talk to nobody back then like that. Came in with junior credits, but a freshman mindset. I'm out here, level 1, no creator class, no barracks, no calling cards, Nathan. 60 overall brown shirt, no badges. 10th Q white belt. I'm new, bruh. I'm new to this. Anyway, the first semester got off to a slow-ish start, but I started meeting new people, making connections, and most of all, I wasn't bored. I had a decent mix of classes too. I had a 9 a.m. math class. I hate that class. That class was terrible. Fuck that class. Fuck that professor. Fuck math in general. I had a business analytics class. Was kind of boring at times, but when we actually started doing hands-on stuff, it started to become kind of fun. You are looking at an Excel demon right now, okay? I got this spreadsheet boiled down to a science. Don't even get me started on D. Beaver. That's besides the point. Anyway, I had a sociology class. That class was mad fun. We talked about a lot of controversial and crazy things. Plus the professor was mad cool. Then I had a business management class. I didn't think this class would be fun at all, but I was pleasantly surprised. Not only was the class itself fun, but the professor was cool and the people in the class were fun to work with and be around as well. What was special about it was the fact that we had an abnormal amount of international students in that class. Mostly Europeans, but from different areas like Spain, France, Albania, the Netherlands, places like that. There was this one German girl though who I will admit by the end of the semester I become quite fond of. We started talking to each other towards the last half of the semester, but boy, let me tell you, I kick myself every day for waiting that long. Hopefully I'll see her again when I go to Germany. I highly doubt she's watching this, but if she is, hello, guten tag, moin moin. Listen, little known fact about you, boy, I dabble in a little bit of German. It started with me talking to the exchange student. She would show me little phrases and words and stuff, then I take it from there. See, y'all know that about me. Now you do.
No. No.
Anyways, that class was hella fun, and so are my other classes. I couldn't wait to see what classes I get next semester. Man, second semester rolled around, which by the way is this semester, like the one that I'm in right now. This semester currently right now that I'm in right now, right here, right now. The set of classes that I have this semester, ass. First of all, the process of even selecting classes between semesters is god awful. See, back in community college where everything made sense, how the classes worked was this: registration would open, you'd be notified, then you contact your advisor would get your classes set up for next semester, you'd be set. Congratulations, you are now registered for the next semester. Here's how it works here. Firstly, you get notified that registration is open. Then you, yes you, are supposed to then register yourself for your classes for the upcoming semester. You pick out your classes like it's a catalog or some shit. Then bam, you're ready for the next semester. Now, I had no idea that's how it was done. Nobody told me a thing. I simply contacted my advisor and oops, dumbass, your advisor is booked out for 3 weeks. Try again later.
Do you see me fucking laugh?
So now I'm a sit and duck for 3 weeks, not even knowing all the good classes were gone halfway through the first day not even knowing that all of the good classes were gone halfway through the first day of registration opening. So when I finally got to meet with my advisor, we went through the classes, I got my schedules together, and I was all set. All I had to do was wait for a few professors to email me back about getting into their classes, and I'd be home free. Do y'all know none of these professors sent me or my advisor an email back for the entire winter break? It was either that or my advisor never sent the emails and he just played it off like no professor responded just to save face. I'm leaning towards the second option because the advisors around my school are known to do shit like that. So when school started, I had 0 classes. I had to contact my advisor again and go through the whole process again just so this nigga could tell me, yeah, it looks like that class is full. That class is also full. That class is full too. That class is pretty full too. Like, nigga. Hello? Of course the classes are filled. The school year is in session. So then I had to get thrown into some random ass bullshit classes, and almost every class I have is buns. My 9 a.m. class, crime and something, I don't remember. ass. The professor is old as shit, not literally, but spiritually, and hates technology, so no laptops, no phones, no electronics whatsoever are allowed in that class. We gotta take notes by hand. Now, this isn't an issue for me. The way he went about it is what pissed me off. He started off his class by telling us about how he was an old school teacher and how you guys aren't used to an old school teacher. And I'm just sitting there like, yo, my nigga, wrap it up.
Wrap that shit up, B.
We do not care. I should have known he was on some bullshit when I seen him walk in with a Bluey hoodie on the first day of class. Then this nigga, no bullshit, starts talking about how Bluey made him quit his job working wherever the f he was working to come to our school and teach. What? I should have dropped that class the second that sentence escaped his lips. But I thought to myself, maybe I'm being a little too harsh. Maybe he's just a bit eccentric, you know? Because truthfully, he said something that piqued my interest when he was going on his whole no technology speech. He mentioned how discussions will be a big part of this class. Now me, I love class discussions, especially in sociology type classes such as this one. So I was very intrigued to see what kind of discussions we'd have. I should have known that when he said discussions, it meant him discussing things and us just sitting back listening to this nigga talk for 50 minutes straight. Every class period, just him, yipping and yapping. Then when he decides that we're worthy enough of discussion, he opens the floor to us with a hyper-specific question that isn't open-ended at all, leaving no room for discussion. I hate it. One day, he did a lecture where he addressed the sexualization of women in society and whatnot. I ain't like the way he spoke about it. So by the next class, I was ready to say something. Right when the class started, I brought it up to him and I said something like, you discussed the topic of sexualization in a very linear fashion, introducing no nuances to the conversation. Why is that? I didn't realize it at the time, but I had just sacrificed the entire class period because this nigga went on the rant for 55 minutes straight. It could have been over sooner, but I had to open my mouth again. After he stopped ranting about how we live in a patriarchal society and the sexualization of women is normalized and everything, he said something else, to which I then said, I'm beginning to notice that as a professor, you tend to catastrophize a lot when it comes to scenarios such as these. Why is that, perhaps? What the f did I say that for? He then went on to say that he catastrophizes because we live in catastrophic times, nothing's normal, the world's crumbling around us, especially because of the new presidency, yada yada yada. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to figure out how we even got here. Then he said something that was just downright insane. For reference, this professor is clearly not a fan of Trump. Cool, whatever. The extent to which this professor dislikes Trump, however, created a cause for concern the day he said, and I'm not making any of this up, this is something he actually said straight from his mouth to our ears. He said, my working theory is that the Trump administration is a terrorist attack by Russia to destroy America from the inside. And when the class was over, I left that classroom thinking to myself, this man might actually be insane. There is no satire, there is no irony, there is no joke here. This man may have actually lost it a long time ago, and now he's here at my college teaching a class, and all I did was challenge his beliefs once. I gotta do that shit more often. That was amazing. Now that I know that this teacher is prone to nearly crashing out when somebody pushes back against his arguments in lectures, I'm making it my business to do that at every turn. I can't wait to see how this works out because that whole day was hilarious and I need more days like it to make the class a lot more fun. Anyways, my next class is an intro to programming class. I'm considering getting into cybersecurity, so I had to take a programming class to get a feel for the field. I won't lie, this shit is hella boring. The coding is fun sometimes, but during the lectures, I deadass be ready to fall asleep. Not to mention the class is an hour and 15 minutes long. Then I have an economics class. Teaches us about the stock market, how to invest, managing our personal finances, calculating rates on loans, car payments, the whole thing. The class is fun. And then I have, I have nothing. I somehow managed to go from 4 classes to 3 between semesters. I went to the advisor about this like, yo, this schedule feeling a little light. Can a nigga get another class? And he hit my ass with a lazy advisor copy pasta talking about, see, with it being this late in the semester, it'd just be difficult to get you in any more classes. Yeah, I'm looking at them now and all these classes seem to be full. Yeah, it just wouldn't work very well. It was the second week of school when I came to him about this. How the f is that late in the semester? So now I'm stuck with 2 boring ass classes that I can't change and 1 decent one. And to make matters worse, on certain days I have 4 hours of absolutely nothing in between 2 of my classes. Let me say that again. 4 hours of nothing. I don't think y'all hearing me. I have 4 solid, uninterrupted hours of absolutely, positively nothing. And I gotta do this until the end of the semester. Get the out of here with that shit, yo. This shit sucks. Now, when it comes to the social life on campus, I got a few friends here and there, so I'm not totally isolated and alone, but I'm not necessarily connected with the campus life as I would really like to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm not plugged in. I ain't got no connects like that. Personally, I like to know what's going on the campus that I'm going to be spending the majority of my time on. And I'm not just talking about the official shit. I'm talking about the unofficial shit.
You feel me?
You know, the gossip, the tea, the juice, what niggas is doing outside of classes and whatnot. Stuff like that. Try as I might, I still don't have the connects. I'm still not plugged in. And the thing that be irking me about it is we got a whole host of international students that are plugged in. They got all the connects. Some of these people have never even stepped foot in America before. How y'all getting all the connects but I'm not? I've been in this town for years upon years. I'm coming to the college at the same time as you. How the hell are y'all building this network so fast? They're so connected that some of them are mingling with the locals. And I'm not just talking about like fellow students. No, I'm talking about like literal locals, like town locals. How the fuck? One of the exchange students that I know is dating a nigga that doesn't even go to the college. How these two were even on each other's radar aside, how the hell was this nigga even able to pull this shit off without even going to the college? Cause don't even get me started on the college dating game, bro.
Fucking thing sucks!
Alright, so boom. It's the end of the second semester. The school year is winding down and finals is right around the corner.
Finals are right around the corner.
And after a full school year of trying to date in college, I can safely say that this is buns, bro. And if this is any indication of what's to come next semester or even post-college, just end it right here, bro. I don't think I want to do this no more. Oh my god, bro. Another story about how you don't get no bitches?
Yes! Yes. Look, motherfucker!
This whole dating shit is treacherous. So treacherous, in fact, that it's actually kind of depressing. But because my luck with women is so hilariously bad, I'm able to look back on my dating experiences and laugh. And then I bring them to YouTube and present them to y'all so y'all can laugh at me. I mean, with me. But truth be told, if I wasn't able to look back on my dating experiences and laugh, I'd be pretty miserable, not gonna lie. So whenever the dumb stuff happens to me when I'm out here trying to date, I get through it, look back on it, laugh, and then keep my head up. Nevertheless, this shit is awful. I thought this was supposed to get easier in college, because when I see how these other college niggas are straight swimming in bitches, I can't help but be like,
How do you do that?
take my homie Skinny Blank for instance. Him and I go to different colleges, and from time to time I travel over to his college to chill with him and party. Now he participates in Greek life, so I met his frat brothers and kicked it with him, all that dog. One of the very first things I noticed, however, was these frat homies, constant rotation of bitches. Now some of them have the same girlfriends that they had when I first started coming around, and I've been coming around for a while. The others, like clockwork, there's a new chick when I come around. If I skip too many parties or come around at the beginning of a new semester, the roster has indeed changed. Contracts have expired, trades were made. And make no mistake, I ain't hating in the slightest. I'm just trying to figure out how they're managing to pull this shit off. Even the homie Skinny Black ain't safe. He out the game now, but I remember I was with him his freshman year at university. Classes hadn't even began yet, and already this nigga was swimming in bitches. Then here it is, I get through my first semester at university, halfway through my second.
Bitchless, sans beach, as the French in France would say.
So look, bro. My first taste of college dating came in the form of a match on a dating app. Not just one app though. This particular chick matched with me across 3 apps. Multiple times I might add.
She want me, she want me.
Nigga, if this ain't a sign, I don't know what is. We dodged each other on the apps for a while, but finally I was just like, listen. We matched across 3 apps, go to the same school, are on the same campus. Yeah, we haven't said more than a word to each other. Now, why is that? She messaged me back and I immediately asked for the digits. Let's not waste no time. You like me, I like you, let's cut to the chase. Once we got to exchanging text, her opening message to me was, hi, honey. Man, I'm in there like swimwear. So things were going smooth for a while until one fateful weekend occurred. Now, this chick is a theater major, so she be acting and singing and shit. She went to Tennessee to go to an audition conference. I'm not a theater major, so I don't know what that shit is, but apparently it's something when you audition for a bunch of different theaters. So, learning this, I'm not expecting her texts to be super frequent, which is fine by me. Surprisingly though, her texts were somewhat frequent.
Incredible.
Then she leaves Tennessee. This is where her texts stop being frequent. As a nigga who gets ghosted often, you can feel it in your bones when a chick is gonna stop texting you. Like, it's almost clairvoyant like. Somewhere in the messages, you get this gut feeling that says, I am never gonna hear from this girl again. Lo and behold, she stopped replying. Now, with getting ghosted, I have rules. If the conversation was going very pleasantly up until I got ghosted, I will send one double text to revive the conversation. After that, I guess the conversation is dead. So I cash in my one revive a convo text. She responds with the typical, sorry, I was busy busy. She gave me some bullshit talking about how she had some filming to do, and then she had some sorority stuff to do, then her friends wanted her to hang out, yada yada yada, I don't care. The conversation picked up again from there. It's worth mentioning that she and I had a date set up prior to her ghosting me for the first time. Just thought I'd throw that in there. Then she gets to asking me about the Super Bowl and the halftime show, and I'm just thinking to myself, bitch, I don't watch football. What the fuck do I care about the Super Bowl? I mean, the halftime show was alright, but that's really the only reason I would even give the Super Bowl a second thought. So I tell her the halftime show was alright. I heard one of the teams got slaughtered, but I don't really watch football like that. She never responded. Look at that! Ooh, I gotta respect that! Alright, bitch, you spent up your one revive a dead conversation text. I ain't doing it again. I guess the conversation is dead forever, and I haven't gotten a text from her since. Is what I would have said had it stayed that way. Alright, calm down, relax. You know there ain't no happy endings in these stories. So one wonderful weekend, a function was going down at a nearby frat house. It was a pajama function. If you hip to the game, you know exactly why pajama functions are the best functions. If you know, you know. If you don't, you just gotta find out. But anyway, I attended pajama function, the freaky ass pajama function. The way they advertised this shit on social media made the party look more freaky deaky than it really was. First off, it was titled the Love Bash. Alright, it took place in February, Valentine's Day and whatnot. Makes sense. But then I actually started to read the flyer. Okay, let me see here. Theme: pajamas, lingerie, lace? What kind of freaked out ass party is this? What day is it? So I bust out my finest pajamas just so I can shine on niggas at the function. Here, let me break it down for y'all just so y'all know how immaculate this fit was.
Peep my outfit, what? Peep my outfit, huh?
On my feet, I got on the Ugg boots, but when I wear them, they turn into thug boots. You feel me? Oh my God. Hold up, bro. What the hell is you doing wearing Ugg boots, my nigga? All right, first of all, I can tell just by the tone of your voice. You hating. Hating is a disease, my boy. Get well soon. Second of all, I would never be caught dead wearing Ugg boots. However, but my mom bought them for me, so you know I kind of gotta wear them, you know. Moving up to the bottoms, I got on some of the freshest Hello Kitty pajama pants you've ever seen in your life. Huh? Where'd I get them from? Listen, don't worry about that. All you need to know is you can't afford it. For the undershirt, I got on the flyest Hello Kitty shirt you ever laid your eyes upon. Once again, you cannot afford it, so please don't ask. Over the shirt, I'm rocking the red and black checkered robe made from some of the finest and softest Egyptian cotton money could buy. No, you can't touch it. Stop right there. Don't even think about it. First nigga to touch this robe without my permission is getting shot.
Boom! Ooh, got your ass.
And finally, on my head, I have on my luxurious leopard print bonnet to keep my fro protected during the festivities. This bonnet here is made from some of the finest mulberry silk ever sourced. And trust me, the hoes love it. Don't believe me? Stay tuned. Alright, man, that's it. That's the fit breakdown. Go ahead, pick your jaw up off the floor. It's alright. It's alright. Maybe one day you'll be able to rock fits as hard as I do. Anyways, I pull up to the party. Man, when I tell you I was seeing some things, I was seeing some things. Let's just say there were a few girls on campus whose game I was completely unfamiliar with. Especially this one Mexican chick who works at the little bagel joint on campus. Yes, the same one who tried to kill me with that egg. Man, she... You know what? Let me get back on track. So halfway through the function, I wandered off into another room because it was getting hot as hell in the main room. I can't be sweating in this $1 million outfit, G. I'm chilling, literally. When out of nowhere, in walks the theater chick. I haven't heard from this girl in weeks. She ignores me when we see each other on campus, so I had no problem pretending that I didn't know this girl. To my surprise, she walks up to me and starts talking to me. Hey, how are you? The audacity of this woman to ignore me for weeks and then start talking to me at a function like we're buddy-buddy or some shit.
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
I respond with a simple, I'm good, how are you? And then she says, I'm loving your outfit. After some more menial small talk, she says, well, I'm gonna go back in there and party, but I just wanted to come and say hi, and yeah, you look good.
Nigga, shut the fuck up!
She took them big ass titties she got, turned around and went back to going party. Now, I'm including this update because I want y'all to see some of the buffoonery, the foolishness, the outright frivolous shenanigans that these girls are on all the time. She went from maximum interest to,
can I help you, sir?
back to showing interest, and then back to not knowing a nigga. And in the craziest display of awful RNG, that following weekend, it happened again.
Again?
Again.
P-A-W-G.
So one of my boys threw a party at his apartment on campus. He wanted me to roll through. I'm like,
Alright,
I slide through. Right off the bat, something catches my eye.
a white woman.
But not just any white woman. This chick was stacked. But that's not what was intriguing me. Well, not entirely anyway. What was intriguing me was the fact that I know this chick. I used to go to high school with her and she was not built like this back then. I'm not kidding y'all. This white woman was built like somebody's fine ass auntie. Ass, pie. Legs, pie. Constructed beautifully, pie. Honestly, okay, look. There is a social phenomenon occurring concerning white women that has been going on for a minute, and I've been noticing. Nobody's been talking about it, and I think I might have to be the one to do it. But not right now. Anyways, back to the pog.
I like fat ass white girls, the thick tie.
Ooh. Even her outfit was almost auntie-like. Like, imagine the cool type of auntie going out for a function. Not a party, a function. That kind of outfit. She was rocking a tight red skirt, some stockings. I can't remember if she had on heels or boots. I wasn't looking at that, to be honest with you. A zebra print top that was showing off the midriff a little bit. White fluffy hat. That's what really tied the auntie fit together, by the way. And make no mistake, I'm not dissing her in the slightest when I say she was built like somebody's auntie. I was liking everything I was seeing. Halfway through the night, she walks up to me and says, "Hey, I just had to come up to you because you look really familiar." I say to her, "Yeah, we went to high school together." And she's like, "That's what it is." She was a little drunk, too drunk to drive, but not so drunk that she couldn't hold a conversation. In fact, we had a really good conversation, but for some reason, niggas did not want us to talk because she kept getting pulled away for some reason. Like the first time, her friend called her over to him and they were talking for a hot minute. Then she popped back up and I got her snapped just in case she leaves before I can talk to her some more. We were able to talk for about 4.5 minutes when out of absolutely fucking nowhere, her 16-year-old brother shows up to a college party. Only when I'm talking to the hoes. Only when I'm talking to the hoes. I told y'all my luck with women is hilariously bad. Only when I'm talking to the hoes does something this random happen. Like out of all of the random events that could have happened in that moment, why was this one of them? So she goes off to talk to her little brother and figure out what the hell he's even doing there. I'm sitting down looking at the window at the little dude like,
why are you in my fucking establishment,
Really, nigga?
I'm trying to yo sister, and you just had to spawn in out of absolutely nowhere for absolutely no reason. I'm low-key kind of pissed because I'm thinking dude done messed up the vibe. Meanwhile, her friend comes up to me and says, "You feeling my friend?" I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling her. She goes, "You think she feeling you?" And I'm like,
I hope so.
okay. Then she says, "I think she feeling you too." So boom, I got confirmation and approval from the friend. I'm all the way in there. So fast forward a little bit, the party's over and everybody's getting ready to leave. She asked me if I could drive her home because she's too drunk to drive. I'm like, sure, I can drive you home. Truth be told, that wasn't even on my mind.
Okay, I lied.
That was on my mind, like on my mind.
Big ass.
I wanted to knock the stuffing out of that egg muffin so bad. Look, man, it's been a drought out here, all right? I'm fiending. Okay, I need some titties in my hand, some cheeks in my lap. I need some something. However, she's drunk, and because I value legal consent and my freedom,
we ain't taking no chances.
We got each other's contact information. If she's really feeling me and wants to spend more time with me, the phone works both ways. So I take her home and we end up outside of her house talking for a long time. Before we knew it, it was 4:30 a.m. I got work in the morning. I gotta go to bed. So we both decide that we've talked enough and to call it a night. I say to her, "Yeah, it's late as hell and we should get to bed, but I would love to see you again sometime." She says, "Yeah, totally. We should get together before I go back to my college." Then she said this, which in retrospect was really weird. She said, "Do you have me on anything?" I didn't think of it at the time because it was late as hell, but I think about it now and I'm like, did she forget that we added each other on Snapchat? Whatever. I got the snap. She's clearly feeling me. We'll see each other again. But on the drive home, I couldn't shake this feeling. This deep-seated, nagging feeling that I will probably never hear from this chick again. I told y'all, when you get ghosted as frequently as I do, it's almost clairvoyance. You know you're about to get ghosted soon. The next morning, I was talking to her and she was talking about how tired she was. Understandable, we was up till 4 o'clock in the morning. My ass was still tired too. So I wrote off her long response times as her just sleeping or something. The next day, still a weekend I might add, nothing at all. And the fucked up part about all of it is my boy was at the party and witnessed the whole thing go down. So you know he asked me about how the night went and I ain't had a heart to tell him, bro. So, yep, that's how that shit ended.
Oh, she is such a bad bitch, though.
Like, that whole car ride back to her spot, I was just thinking about... I was also thinking, wow, that little nigga drove from all the way out here just to throw salt in my game. Ain't that some shit? Well, it can't possibly happen a third time, right? Right? Fast forward some months later, another weekend, another function. This one was toga themed. What the fuck is a toga?
Do the knowledge, nigga. Nigga, what the fuck?
It dead ass took me like 30 minutes to figure out how to tie this shit correctly and not have it feel like I was wearing a tight ass skirt. I was definitely walking to the function looking like a damn vagabond. Still, I made sure I was as fresh as possible. Anyways, I arrived at the function, drink in hand. Outside of parties, I don't drink.
I don't need to. Why would I?
At functions, however, I be drinking. However, I treat drinking as a utility, not an indulgence. Put it to you like this. I'm like Shun D from Virtua Fighter. You know how as he takes more drinks, he unlocks certain moves?
No.
Except the move I unlock is socializing. And my drink limit is 2. After 2 drinks, that's when shit starts to get silly. Anyways, I'm chilling. I'm tipsy. I can socialize now without thinking about it for 40 minutes. I'm whooping niggas' asses in beer pong. And because I'm tipsy, I'm better at beer pong for some reason. Because normally I'm ass. Life is Roblox. We kick one team off the table. Bitch. We kick another team off the table. Bitch. And then LATINA mind control. The Mexican chick from the little bagel joint on campus steps up to the table with her friend looking to play. All of the buffs that I just got? See, I had the tipsy attribute, which gave me +5 accuracy, +5 charisma, and +10 confidence. Once she stepped up and hit me with the LATINA mind control, she negated my accuracy buff, my charisma buff took a hit, confidence buff stayed the same though, because I was confidently missing all them damn shots. All jokes aside, I don't know what happened. Against those last 2 teams, I was hitting shots I ain't never hit before. She stepped up to the table and I got homie next to me looking at me like,
what kind of shot is that? Have you ever shot that shot? Do you work on that shot?
Despite that, the game still went down to the wire. Hey, I never said they were good. I just said I was whack. Unfortunately though, we lost. I dapped her friend up like she was a nigga from around the way, but then when I got to her, I walked over to her, looked her in her beautiful brown eyes, and gave this woman the most regal handshake I could muster because I was still affected by that LATINA mind control. Now, while this happened on the same night, everything I just talked about has nothing to do with the main story. I just threw that in there because I wanted to talk about it. Here's where the main story starts. Halfway into the night, I spot this chick. Platinum blonde white chick.
I beg your pardon?
Dr. Umar, don't start. My snow bunny radar was not turned on that day. She caught my attention because I recognized her from a trip that our school hosted. On the day of that trip, the pollen levels were out of this world, bro. I was doing all sorts of sneezing and sniffling. Nose was getting raw from all the tissue I was using. It was rough, bro. Huh? Why'd I still go? Nigga, I paid $50 for that trip. As long as I can't get anyone else sick, I'm getting my money's worth, dadgummit. Everybody on the charter bus was all happy and shit, talking about all the stuff they were gonna do when they got downtown, and I'm on that bitch, 1 HP, critical condition, feeling like death. Fun trip though. The whole way there though, I was sitting next to the platinum blonde in question. But this wasn't just any blonde. This blonde in particular was British.
I don't think you're listening.
Hey look, say what you want about English accents, but I played the OG Tomb Raider and that accent be hitting my ear just right. Anyways, according to my homie I was at the function with, I said, watch this, before I went to go talk to her. Now I thought I said, wait a minute, but I guess I was on some Usher shit. Watch this. So I slide over to her and immediately spark a conversation. Sober me would have never done this shit in a million years. For the purposes of the story, we're gonna call her Laura for more than obvious reasons. The first thing I did was apologize to her for having to sit by me for the whole trip there and back while I was sneezing my brains out. Whole time this girl didn't even care about all the sneezing that I was doing. But we talking now. Now, I don't know if this is all British girls. UK people, please confirm. But she was mad energetic. Like we were talking about some mundane shit like community college and stuff like that, and all the while she was hella animated. The shit was mad comical. While we were talking, I noticed that the group of exchange students that she came there with had dipped. This girl is gulping down a tall ass can of some fruity Smirnoff drink, and she got another drink in her other hand. Ain't no way she making it home safely. So I decided to be a good Samaritan and offered her a ride home. We make it back to my car, and while we were chilling in there, I get the idea to ask her about one of my favorite music genres, drum and bass. As soon as I said that, this girl gets even more hyper. It was cool though. Not too many people around me bump drum and bass, so it was cool to see somebody who does. We're still in the car chopping it up and everything, and all the while this girl is like mad touchy. You know how girls do that shit where they start laughing, then they lean into you, hand all on your chest and shit. She was doing stuff like that, and all the while I'm sitting there thinking,
is you gonna suck my dick? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to go crazy.
And then this girl, alright, this video is long enough as it is, so I'm gonna just give y'all the Spark Notes version so we can skip to the second half. Alright, so here's how the rest of the night went. This girl took a piss in a public parking lot behind the truck, got back in my car and started calling hella people looking for an after party, suggested very suggestively that we should party at her apartment after she couldn't find an after party. Nothing happened. She spilled a drink on herself, got hella excited when I told her that I played the drums in an ensemble, wrote down the date to one of our performances unprompted, asked me if I was going to the party happening tomorrow. I said yes. mess. She said she was looking forward to seeing me there. She went to bed and then locked me in the apartment complex, and I had to find some random dude walking his dog at like 3 o'clock at night to let me out of the parking lot. Shout out to you, bro. And that's how that ended. All right, moving on. All right, so the next function happens. It's graffiti themed. What the hell is that, and who the hell is coming up with these themes? Let me look this up. Okay, so these niggas want me to put spray paint on a white tee? On my white tee? I bang in my white tee, I slang in my white tee, all in the club spitting game in my white tee. Are you out of your mind?
I don't think so.
As always, I made sure I fit the theme for the party and still showed up fresh to death. Man, I thought you knew. So I'm at the function and I don't see the platinum blonde Brit anywhere, but that's to be expected. She's an international student. International students never show up to functions on time. Like, let's say the party started at 10. International students aren't showing up till at least 12:30, and best believe they are showing up twisted. They were so drunk, in fact, that at this particular function, one of the girls spawned in a Sharpie marker, and about 3 or 4 of the international girls were just signing each other's titties with the Sharpie marker. And I'm just sitting there like, it was a beautiful sight to see. Anyways, boom, Brit spawns in, but she spawns in with 2 of her homegirls. Now, I didn't notice at first. I'm tipsy and I'm dancing with some white girls. The homie taps me on the shoulder and he's like, hey, there go your girl. I'm like, okay, and kept on dancing. Bro was like, yo, go talk to her. I'm like, yeah, I will. Kept on dancing. Bro gets impatient with me and he goes, bro, if you don't go talk to her right now, I'm gonna tweak the fuck out. I'm like, chill, man, what the fuck is it? And as he said that, I look over at her and she waves at me. Super enthusiastic wave too. I'm thinking she's just as energetic as she was last night. No. Man, we spoke a total of 2 times that whole night, when just last night this girl was a yapaholic. The rest of the night she was orbiting her friends, just barely dancing. What was really tripping me out though was one of her homegirls. One of them was a tiny white girl, whatever, she ain't important. The one that is important was this light skin. You know what, no, it's not even doing her justice to call her a light skinned chick. This was a red bone, okay? I'm having to dig up archaic terms to describe this woman. Athletic build, curly hair, bad as shit. We love to see it. Me and her were playing quite a bit of eye tag during the party. Then a song came on. It might have been Chief Keef or something, I don't know. But she walks up to me and she goes, do you know this song? And I'm like, huh? Because it was loud as hell. So she says it again, do you know this song? And I'm like, yeah, I know this song. And then she just walks away. Hey, yo, what the fuck? What, are you doing a survey or something? Why'd you ask me that only to follow it up with nothing? And then right after that, she goes over to the British chick, whispers something in her ear while looking directly at me, and then the British chick shakes her head no, like she asked her something about me or something. And then they disappear. I'm not joking, they just straight up vanished from the function. I didn't see them again until the party was almost over. Now, I don't know what playbook that's from. I don't know what kind of play that was. All I know is, whoever that light-skinned chick was, she was bad. Anyways, I step outside the function and I see the British girl and her entourage leaving the party. Well, so much for my cultural enrichment. And just when I think everything is all doom and gloom, Latina mind control. The Mexican chick from the bagel shop spawns in and we just start chopping it up. And I had on this sick ass rubber band chain that I made, and while we were talking she just starts playing with it, twirling it around her finger and shit. Good times. Now I know it seems like I've been bringing her up a lot during this video, because I am, but y'all gotta understand, me and this girl have had a random encounter at nearly every function that I've been to from the beginning of the school year. From her beating me in beer pong, to her giggling at me at the pajama function where she was wearing nothing but an open button up, a bra and some shorts. I ain't even tell y'all about how I almost had to drive her home because her and her homegirl were drunk and her one sober homeboy didn't have a license. That was the second function of the school year, by the way. I'm starting to think it's fate, to be honest. I'm starting to think the universe is trying to tell us something.
Shut your lame ass up, nigga.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I did see that red bone again at the last party of the year.
To make a long story longer,
the last function of the year happened at the apartment complex on campus. I was a part of a crowd of people who were leaving a pajama function that got shut down right across the street. I get to the apartment and I spot the red bone chick with the British chick and the tiny white girl up on the balcony. They were hella twisted. Somehow or another, I get called up there by the red bone. Some dude wanted her to take a picture of him and the British chick, who very reluctantly took the picture with him. Then he wanted the red bone to take some more pictures of him. While he was trying to get in position or whatever, the red bone sees the leopard print bonnet that I had on and says, ooh, I've been looking for a leopard print bonnet. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. The most random shit ever, right? And I'm like, oh, word? Then she says, what if I just snatched it off your head right now? And I'm like, nah, shawty, you can't do that. Trying to sound all suave and shit. And then she gives me that look and says, oh, I can't do that? And when I say that look, I mean that look. Y'all know what look I'm talking about. If you don't, let me show you. I'm talking about one of these. One of these.
She kind of bad though.
And what made it worse is I was behind her. Not directly behind her, but like kind of off to her side a bit. So she had to turn around and look up at me to give me that look. And
Oh, fuck.
Like, I don't think y'all know how bad this was fucking me up, because this girl was on par, if not badder than the light-skinned chick that I fumbled at that other party. But before we can make any real progress, one of her friends grabs her and pulls her away, and I didn't see her for the rest of that night. I don't know which friend did it. All I know is there was some serious player hating going on. This coming semester though, I'm on that. Same with the Mexican chick from the bagel shop. We ain't had that many random encounters for no reason. They have been saying that we need to improve on black and brown relations.
You know what I'm saying?
So there you have it, my first year of college in a nutshell. And I won't lie, it was kind of buns. Started off excellent, ended on a slow, boring note. But you know what? I want to change that. I want to make sure my next year at college starts off great and ends the same way. So I have a few, let's just say, resolutions for the upcoming school year.
Check this out.
My first resolution is to lock in academically. Now look, I'm not saying that I did poorly last semester, okay? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I was cutting it close, that's all I'm saying. But this year, I want to be on top of my academic game. I don't want to have to scramble to hit that academic comeback towards the end of the semester and shit. So I plan to do my homework early instead of on the due date, work on projects early instead of a week before, and try to put more effort into studying because I low-key hate studying with a passion. We gonna be on that academic grind this coming school year, you feel me?
No.
My second resolution is to make solid connections with people. Being honest, I don't really like to talk to people. I tend to stay in my own bubble more often than not. This doesn't mean that I never talk to anyone, but most of the time, the people were introduced to me rather than the other way around. Like, people reached out to me. I didn't really reach out to people. This year, I want to change that. Because if you want to be real, college is about 30% what you learn and like 70% making connections with people. Sometimes who you know is more important than what you know. So you never know who you may run into later in life. And if you built a solid connection with them, you could get ahead. Because after college, connecting with people won't be impossible, but it'll damn sure be harder. And the best way to make connections is actually talk to people. When I said I don't like to talk with people, that's not entirely true. I do like to talk to people. I just won't actively do it. And whenever I do, it's usually the result of minutes, hours, days, weeks, or even months of thinking about it. Not all the time, but sometimes for sure. How could I ever expect to make connections when I overthink starting a conversation with someone? That's exactly how I ended up waiting until towards the end of the first semester to talk to the German exchange student, which, man, I miss that German girl. I ain't saying I condone it, but I completely understand why Cole Phelps did what he did. If you know, you know. That accent just... Anyway, even during second semester, I hesitated to talk to the other exchange students for a while until one day I decided to stop being a hoe and go for it. And I'm glad I did, because they were hella cool. They were teaching me things about their culture, teaching me Spanish, teaching me slang, teaching me how to dance, all that, dog. Now, I like speaking to the exchange students especially because A, it's cool to interact with people from different cultures, and B, I want to study abroad myself, so I'm trying to build a network here, okay? They call me Mr. Worldwide for a reason.
No, the fuck they don't. Nobody call you that shit.
Speaking of talking to people, my fourth resolution is to shoot my shot with the red bone and or the Mexican chick from the bagel spot. Regarding the red bone, I'm not sure what kind of game she was spitting, asking me if I knew a song and then disappearing, and then later ogling over my leopard print bonnet while looking at me like she wanted me to All I know is it's good. As for amor mío, it's good. Like I said, we didn't have that many random encounters for no reason. What, y'all thought I had the international students teaching me Spanish and teaching me how to dance for fun? I mean, not that it's not fun, but like, I'm saying like,
nigga, you know what I mean.
See, a lot of y'all thought I was a milkman. Y'all thought I was only playing in the snow. Not saying I don't, but Latinas, good. I need me a little Latino on my arm, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Ven aquí, mi amorcita. And I hear people say all the time, Latinas are toxic, Latinas are crazy, Latinas are this, Latinas are that.
You know what though, my boy? You know what though? You know what though? I just don't give a fuck.
Now yes, it's been a whole summer since I've interacted with either of them, but who cares? I'm making moves. Now, do I have faith in myself? Yes. Am I confident? Yes. Is there a chance that this works and I successfully shoot my shot with one of them? But you know what they say, you can't win the lotto if you don't play it, nigga. My fifth and final resolution is to start DJing at some of these school functions. Not necessarily out of any passion to do so, but because the DJs at these functions are kind of buns, I'm not gonna lie. Like when I say DJ, I'm not just talking about some nigga with a phone connected to the aux. No, at these functions, there are legit students with DJ equipment up there mixing. Yeah, they be mixing, all right. Mixing up some hot ass garbage. Like some of them just be up there pressing buttons doing absolutely nothing. Then some of them just be playing the same damn songs.
The same 5 songs! The same 5 songs!
Like if I hear Mr. Brightside one more fucking time, somebody getting hurt. I don't know who needs to hear this, but Mr. Brightside is not a party song. I don't want to hear that damn song at every function I go to. So, out of spite for the DJs on campus, I'm throwing my hat in the ring. There are so many songs that could be played at these functions that aren't, because all the campus DJs share the same playlist for some reason. Like Mr. Brightside. And of course, we gotta hear Bottoms Up 15 times. We gotta hear Starships 15 times. Sticky was cool at first, but these niggas played it out. Then you got Party Rock Anthem. You know, Party Rock Anthem ain't that bad. You know it ain't a college party without hearing No Hands. ROSCO, we Mr. Shouty, put it on me. That's a bop, I ain't gonna lie. And how could I forget Mo Bamba? Oh my god, Mo fucking Bamba.
Nigga, shut the fuck up!
No Mo Bamba. Then we gotta hear WAP for the millionth time. We gotta hear Now, I'm gonna let those songs slide because when they play, that's when the ass shaking commences. But still, play something different, dadgummit. Somebody once told me to be the change I want to see, so I'm being that change. I want some song diversity at these damn functions, and I want it now. And I'm not even trying to niggify the music or nothing. I got a diverse music taste. Niggas always give me the aux during road trips. I know how to set a vibe, as they say, with music. So if you go to my college and it seems like the music done got better at the functions next year, you know exactly why. So there you go. Those are my resolutions to make my next year at college better than the last. Now, if you see me post a video called College Was Just One Big L, you know exactly what happened. Now, before the video ends, let me briefly explain where I've been for the past 6 months. I started recording this video in like late February. It wasn't originally supposed to be this long, but I felt it was missing something, so I sat on it for a minute. And then went back to the lab. Finals whooped my ass, so I wasn't working on much for a hot minute, but I had plans for videos once the school year had ended. It turns out my plans had plans for me. I injured my finger at work, which resulted in my pinky fingernail eventually falling off. I went to Combo Breaker and came back with no car. I thought it would be an easy fix. It wasn't. So then I had to sacrifice my whole summer and work my ass off in order to get another car. So from the end of May till about July, I really wasn't in the mood, nor did I have the time to record or edit a damn thing. When you go from having a car to not having a car, life sucks. But you'll hear more about that in the next video. Anyways, I'm back. I missed y'all. Hopefully nothing else goes wrong and I can get back to making videos again. All right, that's it. Video's up.